everybody? Back with another Fair Shake review, and this time we're talking about Tenet. Yes, we're actually doing a movie review. Like, wait, we still do those around here? Yeah, so the theater has been down for quite a while, and I just didn't want to end up streaming things from the phone or whatever to watch stuff. And not that much has been coming out. But this was definitely a movie that I wanted to see, and so I was able to go out and see it in the big screen, and it was beautiful. I had my popcorn, and then I put my mask on after I was done with the popcorn. But yeah, this movie here was something that I was looking forward to, because I was like, ooh, Christopher Nolan and John David Washington? Like, okay, this might be pretty darn amazing, and let me tell you, it was pretty darn alright. I was explaining to a coworker, like, after I ended up seeing the movie, and just asking, like, have you seen the movie Inception? She's like, no, I haven't. I was like, okay, well then that doesn't help me at all. But how I wanted to explain it to her was just that if you've seen Inception, you know, the concept itself of like diving into dreams, and then the dream and the dream, and you know, the effects it can have if you're not able to wake up from out of the dream, and you get stuck in the limbo. Like, that whole thing was easier to like have that to suspend your disbelief because of that emotional connection they added with it. Because with Leonardo DiCaprio's character and his wife, you know, you try to put yourself in that situation, like, yo, if you really were stuck in limbo for years and years, and you got to live like a lifetime in a dream that was basically practically real, and you came back and you just lost sense of reality, and you could truly believe that, and you could understand the hurt and pain that could have. So since that was like related to something that can be kind of somewhat believable, like you have that emotional attachment to it, where you can be like, okay, being able to dive into a dream and then dreams of dreams, it seems like mad weird, but you know, because of the, like, I can, if the people in this situation experience it this way and I can relate to that experience, it's easier for me to get along, like, to understand. With this one, the pseudoscience of Tenet, with the kind of reversed items that travel backwards through time, there's no real like thing that you can attach to something emotional or something relatable that makes you want to be like, oh, if I was in this situation, how would this affect me? It's just kind of like the things that end up happening in here, the whole pseudoscience of it all is something that I feel a lot of people are just going to be confused by, and it can either turn them off, or they'll just have to be like, alright, well, whatever, I'm in here. Like, this sounds stupid, but I'm in here. Let's see where it's going to go. And outside of that, the movie is not too bad. Like, the action in it, the shots, the script itself isn't really bad. I do feel like the very beginning, like after the first action set piece, like when they're trying to start explaining all of the reversed items that they use, the reversed weapons, the inverted weapons and technology and such. Once they start trying to first explain it after the first action set piece, I feel like they just tried to get through it super fast, since the movie's already going to be 2.5 hours. They're like, we have to get through the exposition really quick. And I feel like that's where people will end up getting lost. But outside of that, the action is super cool. The concept itself is very interesting, which is why I wanted to watch it in the first place. But the way they tried to explain it is where people could get lost. They could get disinterested after that. But if you know, just go ahead and try and buy into it, you can find a pretty interesting story. There are a couple of twists in there that I didn't quite expect. And I was like, oh, so that's what happened there. That's how that ended up happening. It seemed like blah, blah, blah did this, but it was actually blah, blah, blah who did this. And then this person seems suspicious, but turns out maybe they shouldn't be suspicious. Or are they still suspicious? Like, it keeps you guessing for quite some time. The other only gripe I might have to say is the possible kind of love interest kind of storyline. Like, it seems like, are they trying to make it a love story? Are they not trying to make it a love story? Because of course you got John David and you got the damsel who's of course attached to the bad guy, and then it's like you're trying to save him from the bad guy, but are you just trying to save her, or are you interested in each other, or are you not interested in, like, there are times where it seems like they're trying to make it a love kind of relationship, and then there's other times where it's just like, no, I'm just trying to save you because it's the right thing to do. That whole dynamic there is the only other thing that makes me go, what are you trying to get at here? Are you saying that he has feelings? Are you saying she has feelings, or is it that just they care to be, you know, that whole relationship there was just a little foggy for me too, but still their interactions together is still pretty fun, and lighthearted and serious at times too, and just seeing how they try to solve the whole time paradoxes that come to is very interesting, and it really makes me very, very, very interested to figure out how in the world they ended up filming some of these things, because you have people going forward fighting against people going backwards, and then you also have like huge action set pieces where whole batches of people, like whole crowds of people, are going forward while the others are going backwards, and sometimes they interact with each other, sometimes they don't, and then like how they try and make that work, and like how to try, like it makes me even wonder if you really were in that situation, how do you really put together in your mind how to work along with something that's going backwards while you're going forward. And then it's a very interesting concept, but overall I would say if you dig some interesting action with some bit of sci-fi elements, and you can get past it not being like the sci-fi elements not being explained entirely too well, then I would say, check it out. Like, because I guess it's even somewhat like the end of Interstellar too, where it's just like, how in the world is that really supposed to really make sense? If you can buy into it, you can buy into it. If not, then you might just be like, well, that was a waste of time. So, but, I would say if you are fine with everything not being fully fleshed out to make sense, then you'll get yourself a decent story with some really great action and some nice acting as well. Like they do a really good job acting in this. you can tell they are in that world. Everything that's happening there does not seem out of place. It just, the science behind it just is not always fully fleshed out, in my opinion. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys thought if you've seen it down below. I tried to do my best not to spoil anything, as you can tell. But yeah, until next time, much love, peace.